Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 here, coming at you with another drawing video. It's Sunday, so we're back at it again. And today's video, we are going to be drawing Armored Megaman X. And this video was requested by Lil PG, LILPG. Thank you so much for the request. We do got Megaman. I am a big fan of Megaman. Love Megaman X specifically. And yeah, so we're just going to be drawing a fully armored up X from Megaman X1, the first one. And yeah, not much more to that. So, but before we start, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out. And yeah, not much else more. So let's grab our pencils and let's jump in. Alright guys, so to start off, we are going to break X down into his simple shapes. So basically what we're going to do is very lightly draw in a decent sized circle. This is going to be his head. And then once you got that down, what we could do is draw in kind of like another kind of circle right above here. It's going to overlap this circle a little bit. And then we get kind of like an oval here and an oval here. This is primarily where his shoulder pads are going to be. Then right here, what we could do is start like a cylinder by drawing like a little curve line going down and then cut across like this. And then we get a nice big circle here for like his like hip area. And then here we'll get like a line going down into like this big oval. And then here we're going to get a line going across into this big oval that's going to go down here like this, and get another one there. You also get like a little tiny one right there. Then we'd also get a nice decent sized circle for his closed fist that's going to be there with an oval, and then like a line going up to where it should be in the shoulder pad, and then a line going down here, and then a nice big oval right about there like that. So that's pretty much good for the gesture. If you want to do a little bit more, especially around the chest area, you can kind of like section it off like this by drawing an oval, kind of refining the shape a little bit right here. Something like that. And then his waist would go down. Something like that. Then he'll have like a little belt here. So you can refine it a little bit more if you wanted to. But we won't. I'll just jump into the head here. So we're going to start off with the head, and we can actually kind of keep this round shape. Basically what you want to do is draw in some crosshairs like this. And what I like starting out with is actually drawing kind of like his helmet. So right here on like this V section, or right here in like the crosshair where they kind of meet, we're going to get like a little bit of like a V. So you're going to get like this nice V shape. And keep in mind the circle too, because you kind of want it to like wrap around the circle here. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to get a V, then it's going to go down to about here, and then kind of just over into like this real thin little spike, and it's going to go up, go across, connect in with like the corners, and then go over here, and then connect in right there like that. And then here, this one's just going to kind of curve in, and we're going to stop about here because now we're going to get his head shape in. So his head shape's really just going to go off the helmet here. And actually, before we do that, you do want to get, like what we did here, you do want to draw that kind of in here. And it's going to kind of curve around like this. So I guess you could finish off this shape. But now that we got that down, we can kind of draw in his head shape, which we can kind of redo the crosshairs. It'd be something like that. But his head shape's fairly simple. You're going to start right about here and just draw a nice little curve line curving in. It's going to go out where his cheek is and then kind of go in like that. And now a lot of like his his jaw here is going to be covered up by his chest. So all you really need to do is go this far in. And then what you want to do is just connect this line into there like that. And then for his eyes, you're going to have an eye here and an eye here. And they just kind of go off this thing. So basically it's this nice little curve line like this. And then that curve line is going to go down. And then right here, you're going to start a little bit before this line ends and just draw a curve line curving down like this. And then you can get a nice big kind of like U shape there like that. And then his nose is going to be right about here. And it's just this line going down and then down like that. And then this eye right here is just going to be a line going across, down, and then kind of squares off about here like that. But then we'd also get that U shape here. And then we could get in his mouth, which is going to be about there. And basically what you want to do is just draw a line going up, kind of curve it around, angle it down, and then go over, and then just kind of straighten it out at the bottom here like that. And then for his teeth, it's just this nice little curved line that goes over like so. I could zoom in a little bit. So, and then for his eyes, what you want to do is just draw a little circle here and here, and then just kind of shade this in black in the middle. I know for like this eye it's real small, but something like that. And then now that we got that down, the real trick to like getting Mega Man looking right is getting the roundness of his helmet correct. So basically what you want to do is kind of go off this shape and keep a very nice round circle. You can kind of like see it in the gesture here as you're doing it. You might have to like adjust it a little bit, but once you get like a nice big round circle around, like he almost has like an afro, it should, you should have like an okay shape. But before we do that, we're going to draw on his earpiece that we see a little bit here. And basically all you're going to do is draw this nice decent size oval like that. And then what you're going to do is draw another oval on the inside, and like a tip to this one is you're going to be closer to this side than this one, so draw the oval closer to this side. And then what you're going to do is draw kind of like this curved line like this, and then you're going to draw a series of lines like that. So once you have that down, then we can kind of move into the top of the helmet. So you're going to get a line going up the middle here, and it's going to go into like another V and kind of hug this shape right here. And then same thing on this one, it's going to go up, kind of hug this shape of the helmet like that. And then right here, what we're going to do is extend this line out and then kind of wrap it around like this. And then it's going to go out, over, and then wrap in like that. And it's going to meet right at this middle point. And then kind of same thing here. It's going to go out, kind of wrap around like this, and then go out, kind of wrap around, get to like a point here. And then what you want to do is draw a nice little curve line going in like this. And then here, just a curve line going in the middle there. Like that. And then then we could finish it off by drawing a little curve line right here for like the gem, that red kind of gem looking thing. And then another curve line for like the black part. And then I'm going to just kind of bump up this helmet a little bit here. Kind of shrink it down a little bit. Again, this is the toughest part about drawing Mega Man, is like keeping his head round. But once you got that done, that is pretty much it for his head, and we could jump into his body now. So I kind of did this before, like in the gesture where I did this oval and kind of like this part, and you can kind of put like a middle line in there too. But what I like doing is starting out with this shoulder pad that's right over here. So basically the shoulder pad, I'm just going to gesture in the shape a little bit more. It's going to be here, kind of curve in like this, but then it's going to have like a U shape and then go in like that. So it should have a shape that looks something like that. But now we're going to go into give it a little bit more detail. So I actually want to make this a little bit lower too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right about here and draw a curve line going down, across, and it's going to curve up right about there. And then here it's going to curve to the left and down. Ooh, we're getting lightning. That was a strong one. Go left and down, and then we're going to just curve the line going down this way, like so. And then here what we're going to do is kind of follow this line. We're going to have a nice curve line here like this. It's going to go down to about here, and then it's going to cut across, and then kind of go up like this. And then what we're going to do here is have another line that kind of hugs it. Go down, it's going to connect into that corner, then it's going to go over, and then it's going to curve up and then in like that. And I'm going to erase some of the, like the sketchiness that we have here, just so it's nice and clear for the video. Just go down, over. And again, this is why you should always draw light when you're doing gesture work, just so you can erase it in the future and you're left with just the good lines. And then here what we're going to do is get like a little bump that's going to curve into about here, and then we'll just get like another bump that curves in to there like that. So that is that shoulder pad. And since we're just right here, let's just draw in like his arm. So we're gonna get this fist that's gonna be right here. So to break it down, you can get like an oval, and then just kind of like a series of ovals here like this, and then it's gonna kind of wrap around, and then you're gonna get another oval for like the palm there. So something like this. And then what you wanna do is that we're gonna just jump into detail here. I'm gonna start right here and just kind of hug this shape, and then round it off here. Now this shape is gonna go down, kind of follow this oval and get like a bump in here. So it has like a little dip, and it's gonna go over. And now we're gonna go into like the first, or this goes into like the knuckles. So what I like to do is drawing in the fingers. So the fingers are gonna go on like, kind of like this arc. And basically what you wanna do is start right about here and draw a line going up. And it's gonna curve over, and then it's gonna go in a little bit here. And then starting right here, you're just gonna get like a nice little curve line. This is the pinky one, and this is probably the hardest one to draw, because once you got the pinky, all you need to do is draw a line going over, up, kind of curve it in. So when you hit this little curve line, it curves in. Same thing here, just gonna go over, up, hit that curve line, tilt it down. And then this one, we're gonna tilt it down, and this is where we get all the knuckles. So we're gonna get a bump here, and every time you hit like a knuckle, you're gonna get a bump, and a bump there, and then one more bump, and then this bump goes into this line right there like that. And then you could keep this curve line here in between for the fists, and then make it where like they don't connect on the edges. So put a little space in between them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the hand. Nothing too bad. And now that we got that down, we could draw in the, like, starting from here, just draw a nice kind of like U shape like this. And then we're going to have a little curve line that hugs the end of it here. And then off that curve line, we're just going to have two lines that go in like that. And then we just kind of finish this one off. And you would also have a little bit of a curve line right there for the inside of the detail. So it's basically like this line, but on the inside. Like that. And now that that's done, we can jump into his chest. So his chest is fairly simple. Honestly, it's the probably easiest part of drawing him. Is you're going to start here and just draw a nice curve line that curves like kind of across the bottom of his mouth, and it's going to go down, then over, and then here where we got this center line, you're basically going to just draw like a V that connects into here, and then it's going to go over, kind of curve around like this, and then go up. And then basically what we're going to do here is get a nice line that goes down, and then you're just going to hug this shape as close as possible as it goes in like that. I'll erase kind of this line. It's bothering me a little bit. And straighten that out as well. So you should have a line that looks something like that. And then what you're going to do here, kind of like in the middle of this like upside down V that we got, you're going to get a little curve line here like this, and another one right there like that. And now here we're going to get kind of like his torso, which is just two lines going down like this. And then right here you're going to get a little curve line kind of connecting into that line there. And then we're going to get the top of his belt, which is just a curve line that goes like this. And then the middle here, you actually kind of follow this line here. We're just going to go down and get like a square, like so. And then what we're going to do is get a little curve line that goes over and then up, over and then up to finish off the belt. And this line will start a little bit before this line ends. So like the belt should be like longer, slightly longer than like, or the buckle should be slightly longer than the belt. That's what I'm trying to say. So now that we got that down, we could actually draw in his legs. So to start off, what you're going to do is draw a little curve line here. And then right here, you're going to draw kind of like almost like a half circle. And then you're going to go over and then just draw a circle going up, or just draw a curve line going up like that. And then here, basically what you're going to do is get kind of like an oval shape. But in the middle here, what you're going to do is get a nice little curve line like this. And then you're going to get two lines going out of it like this. That's for his leg. And then you can erase the in between and then darken in what you have. I'm actually going to square this off a little bit too. So I'm not going to keep it as round like that. So we'll erase the round part right there. And now that we've got that leg done, we will jump into like his shin, I guess this part is, and then into his foot. It's very simple. Basically what you're going to do is get almost like this water drop shape. I'm gesturing this in, so don't draw it super dark. This water droplet type shape here. And then what we're going to do is, like kind of right about here, draw a nice little curve line that curves up like this. And it's going to go out a little bit more, curve up, go out a little bit more, kind of curve up like that, get into that point. And here on the edges, very similar to what we did with his like earpiece, we're basically going to draw this like oval here like this, and we'll see it on both sides right here. And then we'll get a little curve line like this, and another little curve line like that. And then on the bottom here, what we're going to do, actually very similar to what we did right up here, pretty much the same shape, or same like kind of technique. We're just going to go down, over, kind of curve this around, over, and then up like that. And then here what we're going to do is just get this nice kind of, it's like a combination between like a U and a V. It like has like the point of the V, but kind of like the arc of like the letter U. And then we're just going to get a shape that follows that one on the outside, like that. And that's pretty much it for his foot. Fairly simple. But now we're going to get this foot, and basically what we're going to do here is just get a line going over, kind of get that like oval that we got going on, with that curve line that's going to be like that. And then from that curve line, we're just going to get a line going out here, another one going out there like so. Kind of straighten this out like I did before. And now here what we're going to do is get like a curve line, and then we're going to get that like foot, or like the, whatever this shape would be. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Whatever this shape was, but it's going to have like a little bit of a curve to it, and then go over, and then down like this. And then what we're going to do here is get the bottom of the foot, which is kind of like this shape that looks something like this. But now what we're going to do is just draw in some more detail. And we're going to start actually, oh, actually I forgot a detail right here. Right here, you're basically just going to get a line from this corner going up, over, and then down like that. Whoops, almost forgot that. I saw it in this foot. But basically what we're going to do here is draw a decent sized circle like that. And we're just going to draw another circle on the inside like this. And then here we're going to do kind of like what we followed with the bottom, where it's going to go down, kind of curve up right about here. And then here it's going to curve out, wrap around about there, and then go in like that. And then here it's going to angle out, over, kind of up, and then in like so. And then this shape I'll just darken in like that, wrap around like this. And I'm noticing this is very messy, so I'm going to take my eraser and kind of just lightly erase all this stuff. Actually, this is a little bit too bent. I should have made it straighter. See, this is why we can fix this now. So this is like too bent. I'm going to just make that a little bit straighter like that. Then we'll get, I'll make this a little bit smaller too. And again, this is always why you draw light, so when you do erase, you can adjust and make it look good. See, like this line's a little bit too dark, so it's like showing up, but you guys got it. So now that we have that done, what we could do here is just draw in a nice curve line like this. It'll curve up like so, and then a line going out here, and then just hug in this line until we get to about there like that. And then last detail here where the legs meet, you're going to get just like a little curve line like this. So it goes up and in, and then you're just going to get a line that connects in there and there as well. And now lastly, we just need to finish off his arm with the Mega Buster, and luckily it's not too difficult. So what I'm going to do is start with his shoulder pad, and we're just going to gesture it in here. So it's just going to be a line going out here like this, kind of curve over, start about here, and then just kind of curve up. Something like that. And then what we're going to do is just darken in this line, then go over, kind of down, hug this shape. And then here we're going to get like a little bump, and then it's going to curve in like so. And then here would just be another bump, and we'd see a slight little curve right here as well. Like that, and that's pretty much it for that shoulder pad. Now we'll start with the buster. So the buster's in a pretty good position right here, but what we want to do is start off with a nice oval that looks something like this, and then I'll darken that in like so. And then what you're going to do is draw a slightly smaller oval that hugs the inside of it, and then we're going to draw that like little curve line like this, and then you're going to get that series of curve lines going down like so. And then kind of off this buster, what you're going to do is go off the edges here, so out and out like this, and then it's going to wrap around to about there. But before you do that in, you're going to get like a circle here, and very similar to what we did right there. You're pretty much going to draw the same shape where it's just a circle with a smaller circle inside. And if you want to give it a little bit of depth, what you could do is draw a line going out here, and then just kind of wrapping it around like that. And now we can actually darken in this line as it goes in like that, darken in this line. You'd also see this shape right here, but it'll just be a line going up, across, and then down like so. And then to finish off the buster here, actually we'll get another little circle here. So you're going to get a nice decent sized circle with a smaller circle inside like that. And then going off here, we're just going to get this nice kind of rounded shape like this. And then we'll get a nice little bump right here that just kind of hugs it. And then you're just going to get two parallel lines that go up like so. And that is pretty much how you draw Armored Megaman from Megaman X. A little bit of a toughie. Again, Mega Man characters are kind of deceivingly hard to draw, mainly because like they keep like very specific shapes, like Mega Man's round helmet, kind of like the Buster itself. So you really got to get your shapes down before you start drawing Mega Man characters. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the sketch that we just did and put it up there. I'm going to take the inked version I did beforehand and put it up there as well. And that is pretty much how you draw Armored X from Megaman X. So thank you again, Lil PG, LILPG, for the request. I do appreciate it. If you guys have requests, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And then just remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and tune in on Sunday, and hopefully your request shows up. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.